Welcome to the Crimson Tide Connection, your home for Crimson Tide sports. And I'm joined today by the head coach of the Alabama women's tennis team, Jenny Mainz. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me back.
You're welcome, Coach. This past weekend, you competed at the SEC Championship in Starkville. You advanced to the semifinals with a 4-3 win over Tennessee and a tough 4-2 loss to Georgia. Just kind of talk about the weekend. I know you had some great play, but you really wished you could have improved on it, though, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, drawing Tennessee first round, I knew was going to be really tough. They're a good team. They probably don't quite have the depth that that they've had in the past, but they're a very good team, and I knew they were a dangerous team. So we weren't looking beyond the first round match. We played hard. We competed really well. I thought that was a great match. We were down 3-1 overall against Tennessee for, I don't know exactly the timeline, but we were down 3-1 for a good while, and then staged a comeback, and Emily Zaber down at number 6, just grinding away down there. But that was a great match, and I think we gained some momentum there. And then had another tough loss to Georgia. They're a good team. You know, they've got good depth. They're competing well. I think they've gotten better through the course of the season. I thought we played much better this time against Georgia than we did the previous Sunday when we lost to them at home. We certainly had our chances. Lost at number 1 doubles 9-7. Tough one. Lost to the number 1 team in the country. We were very much in that match. At number 2 doubles, we were up 7-5 against a very good team, and then struggled a little bit at 3, but bounced right back in the singles. Alexa Garachi had a really big win over number 13 Kawasi. Really did a great job of finishing that match. I thought Marianne played a good match at number 1. She played the 6th player in the country. We forced 3 third sets. Emily Zaber down at number 6 was down 6-2, was down in the second set, got it to a tiebreaker, was down 6-3 in the tiebreaker to be finished, and would not quit fighting. Just relentless pursuit of finding a way into the third set. And Tony Fusa, whose court I was on, she lost the first set, found a way into the second set, forced a third set, won the first game of the second set, had an ad to go up 2-0 in the third set, had a suspect situation happen, ended up going to 1-all, got down 3-1, just clawing our way back. I mean, it was a really good match both ways. And I think that we found another level. And we had to, and I think Georgia found another level. And I'm really proud of the way that we competed, through the season, and especially here at the end in the postseason. Like I said before, beating Tennessee again, I knew that was going to, take all we had, and then to bounce back the next day, and we were up for it. We were ready. Again, credit to Georgia; they played a good match. And I feel like we continue to get stronger as the season has gone on, and we found another gear. But I still think that we have another gear to find, for the regionals.
Well, Coach, talking about the SEC and the SEC tournament, the teams that are in the SEC, some really great teams ranked really high in the polls. It's a tough tournament. Do you feel like it's kind of playing against that competition? That's probably more of an NCAA tournament kind of competition, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, that's the benefit of playing in the SEC. And it's funny because this morning I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, and I thought to myself, the SEC is as good now as it's ever been, especially with Texas A&M coming into the league. They've done a great job. They have a very good program. Missouri will get there. They're not necessarily there now, but they're going to get there. She's done a great job already. But, everybody's stronger. Everybody's better. It's just that's what pushes you day in and day out. You're playing the best teams, the best players in the country. I mean, just alone on the Georgia team, they have the number 1 doubles team in the country, who we've played back-to-back weekends. Hearing's number 6 in the country. Kawasi's 13 in the country. I mean, we have 4 nationally ranked singles players. We've had 4 ranked players from January through the end of April. We have 2 doubles teams in the rankings. So, I mean, Marianne and Alexa, I believe, are 5 in the country right now. This win over Kowalski for Alexa, she should catapult up into the, I think she's 47 right now, but she should really make a jump. Marianne's 29 in the country. So, I mean, there's a lot of good things happening, and it only makes you stronger and tougher for the postseason. Because then when you face somebody that's out of conference or out of region, someone from the Pac-10, it's not like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this level of play.
You've been there.
The caliber, it's great. So we'll be ready.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Alexa Garachi, as you said, she is really hot right now. She is really playing well towards the end of the season. She actually was named to the all-tournament team for the SEC Championship, and she also became the winningest singles player in Alabama history to go along with already being the winningest doubles player.
That's, credit to Alexa. The neat thing about this, and I said it earlier in the season, she has continued to believe in herself. And if she earlier in the season, she hit a rough spot where she was struggling. Right. She was struggling with her confidence. She was struggling with her game, and just to have the resiliency and the belief to just stay the course, to just stay. Always, like I said, stay in her corner. Not give up on herself. Just kind of keep figuring it out, tweaking things, making adjustments. But ultimately, she found her way through it, and she kept believing in her game, trusting herself, trusting her shots. And to become the winningest player here, we've had some really good players.
Right.
That's a huge accolade, and her best tennis is still in front of her. When she's not done, she could knock it out of the park.
Right.
And the win on in the semifinals against Georgia was, that was a big win for her. And it may arguably be one of her best wins that she's had. So I don't think she's anywhere near done.
Right.
But to make the all-tournament team, especially like you said, just giving credit to the SEC, that's not an easy team to make. So she's very deserving. She's worked really hard. And, when I recruited Alexa, she was recruited by Florida, Georgia, UNC, Stanford, Florida State. The nation's best.
Programs.
Yeah. And she decided on Alabama for several reasons, but she wanted to go somewhere where she could be a front runner, where she could be an ambassador, make a statement, and leave a legacy that would never be touched. And she's done that.
Right.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Like you said, she's still got a lot of room to go.
She
can get better. You have Emily Zaber. You kind of touched on her a little bit, but just talk about her. She's kind of relentless, too. She can get back in that corner and doesn't give up. She fights back, as you talked about there at the SEC tournament.
That Emily Zaber, she's a sophomore. She did not play last year in the lineup. She was the ultimate team player. She got in for a couple matches, some big matches, and did a good job, but she was not a starter in the lineup. Right. She was everyone's cheerleader. She was in everyone's matches, as were her parents. They were at every match, just supportive, encouraging, positive. Goes through some rough spots in the fall. Just a little, actually had some good results, but a little bit up and down, a little bit unsure of herself. And the turnaround that she has had to make the impact at both number 5, number 6, at 3 doubles. She has answered the call and then some. And her body language, her demeanor on court, it's contagious. I had my back to her all weekend because I was taking a different set of courts, so I could only, I always tell her I can hear her and I can feel her. Her passion, her enthusiasm, her leadership. She believes in herself, she believes in this team. She's been a leader. She's a sophomore, but she has most assuredly been a leader for us. And she just keeps getting better and better. And I say she plays with this, and she plays with this.
Right.
She's an intelligent player. She works hard, but she plays with her heart. She won't be denied. Yeah. And the other 2 freshmen, Natalia Mainetto, she went undefeated in the SEC. That's pretty impressive. That is impressive. Yeah. And it's funny. She just goes out there and goes to work. It's like she takes a little lunchbox out there, sits down on her court. She's got her food spread out all over her bench. She's got her drinks lined up, and she's very coachable. She looks at you between every point. She wants to know how she can, get better. Very responsive, very receptive. Just really fun to coach. But she's lost 1 match all year. She's been clutch. She just gets on the court, takes care of business, and gets off. Maya Jansen, another freshman, has done an outstanding job. She's held the position at number 3. She's 6-5 in conference. she's a heck of an athlete. We certainly could not have the season that we have without the youth in our lineup.
Right.
They have done an outstanding job, and really, they've carried us.
Right. Well, Coach, you have some great seniors on this team, and it's like you have a great foundation of younger players that are going to come up. But right now, though, you have a break between now and the NCAA selection show on Tuesday, April the 30th, where you'll find out. Hopefully, you'll host here in Tuscaloosa. Right. But what's going to take place between now and then?
A lot of rest.
A lot of deserved rest. Right?
Yeah, we need some rest right now. I think mentally, physically, psychologically, I'll tell you what, this team has put it all out on the line. I could not be more proud of their fight, their spirit, their tenacity. They have handled themselves, they have really handled themselves well. They have represented the Alabama Crimson Tide the way that Mal Moore would be proud of. Every match. We've won 7 4-3 matches. Yeah. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. Right. They are to be commended, and they need a lot of rest to get ready. But I hope we get the bid to host. I think we will. We should. In terms of rankings and results and everything. But we're optimistic. It would be on Friday, May 10th and Saturday, May 11th. Okay. And then we would springboard hopefully into to University of Illinois for the final site. But this team is they've been fun to coach. They've been very responsive. They've continually stepped up and brought their best when they needed to. Right. And I'm really proud of them.
Well, Coach, there's a lot of things that go on around the program to make it successful. A lot of people that add to this program to make it successful. And one of those, we can't talk about all of them because it would take forever, but one of those is Jessica Pare. Jessica was announced the Women's Tennis SID of the Year. Can you talk about Jessica and what she means to this program?
She's been great. Jess she's just so chilled out. She kind of calms everybody. She just she's the one that takes care of everything under, kind of behind the scenes. Right. But she's very thorough, very diligent. We're lucky to have her. She's good luck when she travels with us. Most of the time. Most of the time. But she's done a great job, and she's a front runner with the SIDs, not just in the league, but on a national level. So.
I'm sure you're proud to have her.
We are proud to have her, lucky to have her. Yeah. And along those lines, I think Max Norris, our assistant coach, and Mary Muller, who's our volunteer assistant. I've always said this, in tennis we spread out and we're on 6 courts. It's like having 6 basketball games going on. Right. It's impossible for one coach, really even 2 coaches, to handle all the courts. And I think Max Norris and Mary have done a great job. The team has loved them, been very responsive to them. It's all hands on deck, and that's the only way that good things happen. So kudos to them. Yeah.
Kudos to them, and kudos to you and your girls if you've had a great season so far. Well, Coach, we can't wait to see where you're going to end up. Hopefully you'll be hosting a regional. We'll find that out on Tuesday, April the 30th. But for now, enjoy some rest.
Thank you. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. For head coach Jenny Mainz, I'm Christopher England, and that's it for this edition of the Crimson Tide Connection.